Hello dear students, I hope you are all well and staying safe within this challenging time. Again and again at the beginning of every session, and as we usually do, riddles. So we are going to start off by a riddle again. So our riddle for this lesson says solve in 20 seconds. So you should do this riddle in just 20 seconds. What is the car's parking spot number? So look at the photo here. You can see different numbers. Try to find the car's parking space or spot number. What is the number we have got here? Okay. So now we will move on to begin with a review of something that we have already done in our classroom, which is for and since. So we usually use for and since with present perfect, and we have already talked about present perfect. In this session we will see another kind of present perfect. So here we have got some examples. She has worked here for 3 years. She has worked here since 2017. We have a timeline here that we will use in order to show the difference between for and since. Okay, we have got this question: how long has. So in this sentence we are going to ask the question, how long has she worked here? So the answer, she worked here for 3 years, or she worked here since 2017. So look at the expression of or that is used with for 3 years up to now. So here we are talking about a period of time. So for plus a period of time, as you can see here, a period of time. Since since, we use since to talk about a specific point or in time. So we started at a specific point and up to now. So since 2017, it means it has been 3 years now. Is it okay? So this is the use of since and for. We use for with a period of time, since with a specific point in time. Now we will move to talk about a type or another kind of present perfect, which is present perfect continuous. This is another type. In the previous video and in the previous sessions inside the classroom, we talked, or we have seen, or a present perfect simple. Now we are going to talk about present perfect continuous. As we usually do, we start with the context. Here we are going to start with the sentence, and later we will see different examples in a text in your course book. The sentence says, he has been drinking since 8 o'clock. So here we are going to answer this question: how long has he been drinking? He has been drinking since 8 o'clock. So this is a timeline we have now. We have the period of time, and this the activity drinking since 8 o'clock. So when do we usually present perfect continuous? We are going to use these questions to help us to know or to understand when do we usually use the present perfect continuous. So the question number 1, do we know when the activity started? Do we know when the activity we have got here started? So yes, it started at 8 o'clock. Does the activity continue up to and include the present? Yes, the activity started from a point or at a point of time in the past and continuous up to now in the present. Is the action still continuous? Yes, it is still continuous now. Is this okay? He has been drinking since 8 o'clock. He started drinking at 8 o'clock and continuous drinking. So here we are talking about a continuous activity up to now, and he is still drinking now. What are we interested in? So what are we interested in this in this activity? Are we interested, I don't know, in the person? Are we interested in the type of drink he is drinking? Are we interested about are we interested in how many cups, for example, of coffees, or how many glasses of juice, or how many cans does he drink? So here we are interested in the duration of the activity, so the length of the time, so the duration or the length of the time, so the period. Okay, so this is the use of the present perfect continuous. The present perfect continuous is used to talk about the duration of an activity that started in the past, as you can see here, and continuous up to and includes the present. It is often used with for and since. To ask question, we use how long have you? This is the question we use with the present perfect continuous. Okay, so we said it is used to talk about the duration of the activity, to talk about how long something lasts from the beginning to end. So we talk about the length of the time. Now we will move to talk about our course book. We will start with the first activity we have got here. So this is what we are going to talk about in this lesson. The first thing that we should do is to have a look at the photos. As you can see here, we have got a racing car, and this is here a racing driver and the person who is playing the guitar. So here we are talking about Formula 1 racing. So the title of our lesson, he's or has been playing for 10 years. Okay, so here we are going to talk about present perfect continuous with for and since. We are going to talk about Formula 1 racing. So some information about Formula 1 racing, some vocabulary and so on. So the first question is, can you name any Formula 1 racing driver like this one? Can you name anyone? How do you think they spend their free time between races? Okay, between one race and another, how do you think they spend their free time? At home, hanging out with friends? How? So this is what you should do. Make a research about these people, and then tell us how do they spend their free time. Number 2, read the main text about Lewis Hamilton. Name his favorite musicians, type of music, or C, guitar solo. So we are going to listen. The first thing that you should do, listen to this text. Try to fill in the blanks. You have got some blanks here. Try to fill in the blanks and then answer the question.
Lesson 4B. He's been playing for 10 years. Exercise 2. Read the main text about Lewis Hamilton. Name his favorite A, musicians, B, type of music, C, guitar solo.
Lewis Hamilton, free time formula. Lewis Hamilton has been a professional racing driver since the Formula 1 team McLaren signed him to their youth programme. He has won on average 4 Formula 1 races each season and has travelled the world. When he is in a hotel or on the move, his favourite way to pass the time is to pick up his electric guitar and play his favourite songs. The British driver has been playing the guitar for 10 years. You have a lot of time to kill when you're travelling, Lewis said. Like everyone else, I watch DVDs, read books and surf the net, but I soon get bored with all that, so I always take my guitar with me. It's the only way I can really relax. He practices tunes by Tracy Chapman, Oasis, Bob Dylan, Lenny Kravitz and Jimi Hendrix, but his favourite is Bob Marley's No Woman, No Cry. I like rock, funk, hip-hop, R&B, soul and jazz, but I was basically brought up on reggae. I've been listening to Bob Marley ever since I was a child. So, does he have ambitions to be a rock star after a career in Formula One? No, he said with a laugh. I'll never be that good. I had a few guitar lessons when I started, but I haven't had any lessons for years now. Anyway, if I had the choice, I'd be a rapper, not a rock star.
Okay, after listening to the main text, I want you please now to answer the following questions. Number three, solve it. How old was Lewis Hamilton when he joined the McLaren Youth Program? So comprehension. Number 4, choose the best answer. So we are going to read these sentences here and choose the best option or answer. So later we are going to talk about grammar, present perfect simple with for and since. So here you have got some examples. Present perfect continuous with for and since you have example, and this is a note. This is very important. So you can use either the present perfect simple or continuous with work and live. So even if so they are stative verbs, live is a stative verbs, but we can use the present continuous with it. So present perfect simple for numbers and amounts. So when you are talking about numbers and amount, you use the present perfect simple. Okay, so make rules. Example here, he has won 4 Formula 1 races each season. So here we are talking about numbers. How many Formula 1 races has he won? He has won 4 Formula 1 races. So when we are talking about numbers and amounts, it's better to use present perfect simple. Okay, make rules. So which tense do we use? With stative verbs. So which tense do we use with stative verbs? Do we use present perfect simple or present perfect continuous? With verbs about an action over a period of time. So which tense do we use here? When we want to say how much or how many things we have done. So talking about the number and amount, we have just talked about this now. So what tense do we use? So practice. I want you to practice now this this target language or this grammatical item, which is present perfect continuous. So read the fact file here. This is the fact file about Lewis Hamilton. Then ask and answer questions with how long. Use the present perfect simple or continuous, and the prompts. These are the prompts, number 2, 3, and so on. Below, answer with for, then with since. Okay, number 6, it's the same exercise. It's about the same lesson. It is practice. Complete with the correct form of the verb and for or since when necessary. So vocabulary, words connected with music. We have already talked about this maybe last year when we talked about musical instruments. So recall, okay, try to remember these things. Write all the musical instruments you can remember next to the headings. Then check the word bank on page 131. So you are going to write the musical instruments under the following categories. You have string, like guitar and so on. Wind, like trumpets, use the wind, and other. So then, when you have finished this, go to the page 131 and check your answers. So number 4, this is extension. Look at the words in the box. Which ones are people? So look at the words we have got here in this box, and you will say which one of these words are people. For example, here I'm going to give you an example. So here, songwriter. So here we are talking about people. So this is a person. So listen.
Exercise 7B. Extension. Look at the words in the box. Which ones are people? Musical terminology. Album. Backing singer. Band. Beat. Charts. Lead singer. lyrics, producer, rapper, single, song, songwriter, track, voice.
Okay, now the activity or exercise C, give an example of the following. So we are going to give an example of the following here. Number one, a popular hit single, a lead singer and the band you like. So try to give an example for each of the following. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Of course, you can go back to the internet to get some help. So 8, listen to an interview with a musician who is a fan to the rapper Kanye West and answer the questions. So we are going to listen to this in interview and then answer the following question. So let's listen first and then answer the questions.
Exercise 8. Listen to an interview with a musician who is a fan of the rapper Kanye West and answer the questions.
Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Friday evening, and in this latest edition of London Rocks, we interview Andy Judd, lead singer of the band Expression. His latest album, Drumbeat, is number 3 in the charts. Welcome, Andy.
Thank you.
Now, tell us, who would you say has been the greatest influence on your music?
That's a hard question, but one of my big heroes is the American rapper Kanye West. In fact, I've just downloaded his latest album called 808s and Heartbreak. I think he's brilliant.
I haven't followed his career too closely, but he's been around on the music scene for some time, hasn't he?
That's right. He started off as a producer before he was a rapper. He's produced hit singles for quite a lot of famous artists. Alicia Keys, Jay-Z, and Janet Jackson, for example.
So how long has he been performing as a rapper?
Let me think. Since about 2004, when he released his first album. But he isn't only a rapper, he's also a songwriter. He writes all his own songs.
So I guess you're a big fan.
That's right. I really like his music, and I admire him because he does quite a lot of charity work too.
Really? What does he do?
Well, he's very keen on supporting children who come from poor backgrounds. Not many people know this, but he started the Kanye West Foundation in Chicago in 2003, and he has contributed $500,000 to it.
Wow! $500,000? That's cool. What does the Kanye West Foundation do?
It's a charity which helps Latino and African American children to stay in school and get a proper education. That can't be bad. So yes, I am a big fan.
Okay, I think that's all for this video. It was great having your attention. Thank you. I hope everyone keeps safe and stay at your home, please. Thank you so much, and see you in another video. Thank you, and don't forget to enjoy yourselves even if you are at home. Thank you so much.